Hey, this is Kevin. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how and when do you know it's time to make a career change. That's right. When do you make the change? When? I want to tell you that it is not an easy decision. So I don't want you to rush into this because if you do, there could be all kinds of issues that come with that. And I don't want that for you. I'm coming from a real place of someone who was in a very high level career, and at some point it changed for me, and I want to talk to you about that. So today, this is for my career crossover audience, people who might want to cross over into something else. They're not quite there, they're still at their job doing what they're doing. So here's where I want to start. How and when you know it's time to make a career change. You know when basically what you're doing is in the syndrome of what I call samedom. Samedom means doing the same thing over and over, over and over, over and over, over and over. And you're tired of it. As a matter of fact, you're sick and tired. You're feeling challenged by it and you want to do better. And you can't because of the situation that you're in. Because you need it for the money. You need it because your family needs insurance. You're at a point where you don't have anything else, so you're not really able to change, but you know you need to make the change. So you're in what I call that samedom space where, number one, you don't want to do it anymore or it's monotonous for you. Then you can't move because of money, maybe family situation where you are like the area you're in and you don't want to move, or the fact that there's nothing really out there yet that has struck you to make you really move on yet, but you want to make a move. Those are things that I think you think about. I know for me, I got to a point where, and I'll be very transparent, I was going into work and I was feeling like some of the ideas and thoughts that I really wanted to see happen weren't going to really happen. And then some of the things that I thought were should be happening at this point in my career weren't really moving in that direction. And I began to think about, if it stays like this, am I okay with that? And I said no. At the same time, if it doesn't look like it's moving in the next year or two, maybe I should contemplate, and that's kind of part of it. And then the other thing was really, really telling, and this is the main thing that got me going, was I really thought that what I wanted to do in other spaces were becoming very reoccurring for me. They wouldn't go away. They were in my thoughts. I was spending time thinking about other areas outside of work that I wanted to pursue. So I began basically having sort of this duality thing going on. And that's very common. You're not crazy for wanting to think about doing something else while you're doing your current thing. I can tell you that's a normal feeling. But with that being said, it was at a point for me where I was feeling like coming in to work was challenging for me because I was really trying to give my very best and it wasn't necessarily resulting in that for me. So I really felt like I wasn't fulfilling the job to its optimal level. I'm really big on, if you're in a space and you're supposed to be doing really great quality work and you begin to feel like that's not what you're getting or able to deliver, you really got to look at yourself and say, should I be here doing that, or find some other ways to really get going? So I want to give you some thoughts before you really jump out here. If you're in the same space over and over and you're doing that kind of work, begin to ask your management, your supervisor, your person who you report to in that reporting lines, could you do something differently? Can you begin to, explore what things at work could be in your future so you don't feel stuck? Again, I'm big on not just jumping because you don't like something, because these days the economy is so where you might not be able to turn over another good job for several months, or you may get a job, but it may not be where you want. And you look back and say, I should have just stayed where I was. I don't want that to happen to you. So so doing that, think about making sure that you're not just making a jump irrationally. You want to have sound mind and you want to have thought about it. So go to the right person and ask, hey, at the point in time, you kind of have to know your environment and the timing and how things, when it's best, depending on the kind of job that you have. You have to be able to be knowledgeable when that's going to happen, and then go into that conversation being able to talk and really feel good about what it is that you're trying to say to them, meaning that I feel okay about being here. Just right now, I'm not feeling amazing or great, or it's a real conversation I want to have, and I want to talk to you about what are some of the things else I could be doing to help me feel fulfilled, like my career is going in the right direction. That, if you don't want to necessarily just immediately jump, pursue that path, because there may be some things that somebody's been waiting for someone to show some initiative, and you are the one that finally showed up. The other thing is, you can only ask for that, in my opinion, this is my own, if you're doing knockout work. If you're kind of not in a great space and you're just sort of wanting to get out of what you're doing, maybe that can go for the environment that you're in. But in a lot of cases, people are going to assess, saying, is this person worth me changing them up in order for them to go in another direction? Me taking them off of a little bit of the time and energy that they're doing on the main thing that we hired them for, to go and do this. So I really want you to understand, changing jobs, knowing how and when to make a career change, really starts from within. So you got to ask yourself a series of things like I'm asking you, and then you go outwardly, and then you begin to ask for some of the assistance that you have within your job. Then if you get the feedback that there's no room for growth, you are where you are, we feel that you are, but if they say, in order to do some changing, we want you to do this first, then I want you to try to say to them, okay, what is it that you want me to do? And then I will begin to do that. And that is part of your strategy. I want you to begin to say, I'm okay trying some new skill sets, going to do some homework, going to do some research, going to do some new training, going to maybe try some things out, and really take a little bit more strategic approach before I make a different move. So I want you to think through, if you're that kind of person, you're willing to invest and do time with yourself, then go ahead and begin to work on how it is that what you need to do in order to go to that next level within your job. And that in itself is a career change, a career crossover. If you even begin to get new opportunities within your job that you're currently doing, that's okay. And I think for a lot of people, it may be just the thing that you need. So I really want you to key in on not just making, hey, I got to get out of here because they don't see what they should be seeing in me. I want you to handle this like a pro. I want you to approach the people. Hopefully those people are the kind of people you can approach. If you're in one of those environments where people don't really take that kind of time to look, man, I don't know what you can do about this, then that's another thing. If you don't have the kind of management and leadership that's going to listen to you, and they don't do it that way, then it is time for you to possibly consider. So I want you to not really get stuck on that. I think it's about assessing your environment, how receptive they are to you coming in and talking to them. And if it's not that kind of environment, and you know they're not going to give you a chance to move off of whatever you're doing, it's just what you're doing, then that in itself is, how you know when it's time to make a move, and the how to. So these are a couple easy things that I think you can do. It's a beginning, and there'll be more on this, but I just want to say the how and know when it's time to make a career move is based on some of the things I just shared with you. Again, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Let's continue to have conversation, dialogue, and hopefully I can be able to help you out. Again, I'm Kevin Carr, CEO of Pro2CEO, and have a good day.